Hey everybody, wanted to do another video here, just a short one today. And today I wanted to pose the question about basically the shape of the State of Israel. And of course, as we all know, this is a very controversial topic as far as everything. So for my video, none of it is to involve any of the people, any of the religions, any of the beliefs, any of the more smaller disputed borders from recent times. That even includes within the State of Israel of the Gaza Strip and the West Bank. We'll leave all of that out of it. Any comments involving any of these terms of the people. So therefore, if I see any comments using the word Jew, Jewish, Palestinian, even Palestine we won't bother with, Egyptian, Jordanian, Syrian, Lebanese, anyone, and any religion and any belief, this is going to be deleted. This is a very simple question as far as the basic shape of the State of Israel as we see it today. And kind of the funny part is this country, or these borders, and the map of, is probably the most printed map on the planet. Primarily, due to it's the center of the Middle East. It's been around so long and involved in so many people's everything in the past, and the history has so much history to it. And of course, very often you see this in the Bible. At the beginning, a couple pages of the Bibles, at least quite a few of the King James and New King James versions. And yeah, so for me, as a kid growing up, I used to spend 2 hours a week in church, and with a book of 1,000 pages in front of me, and the only pictures in it is that of the map of Israel. As far as the basic shape goes, I was pretty darn sure about. I spent many hours just looking at it and running my finger along with the lines of the rivers and whatever else. I was very, very young for a lot of that, so I didn't do much reading. Probably couldn't read much at all at the time as well. So this one I am really sure about, at least basically, and I'd like to see what you guys remember. Basically, we see here the shape of Israel today, and let's say basically we have the border up there, comes down along the river and the lakes, or the little seas, comes all the way down to the Gulf of Aqaba, and then back up on a little bit of a diagonal, back up to the sea, or the Mediterranean. And from my recollection, and the way I remember it, it was very simple. The shape of Israel to me was not ever this shape. The shape of Israel to me was basically a line, on both ends. I'm not really too concerned about the little one up here, but basically, it was a rectangle. A very, very generally the shape of a rectangle. And that there, let's say following these rivers and this little seas here as well, that would have been the shape of Israel I remember. Now, perhaps this bottom longer border, the southern border here, could have been a little bit more of an angle down, a little bit, but still basically keeping the shape of a rectangle. Now what we have is, for the most part, a rectangle with a triangle at the bottom, if you were to break it into two shapes. And this now means that the very southern border of Israel has a little bit of coastline with the Gulf of Aqaba. And when I first seen this, I started looking at some old maps, Googling some images of older maps. And as you see here, there's some here, so it was basically looks like, since it wasn't very recently anything had changed dramatically for this triangle bottom, Since 1920, 1948 or so, that has been included, the shape of the bottom triangle portion. And prior, or maybe back here, the image to the left of that shows 167 to 142 BC, a long, long time ago. But that might even give us an idea, perhaps, of the border that I'm thinking of. Whereas if you were to go along here and draw a line, that possibly could be something more like that. You know, maybe not. Like I said, there could be a bit of an angle there, for what I remember. And like I said, I spent many of hours looking at this picture, this map of Israel. Basically, what would have been at the time, pre-Mandela, the basic shape of modern-day Israel. And most certainly, I had never seen it with this triangle bottom. It just blows my mind when I see it and sticks out like a sore thumb. Can't miss it. I don't know how anybody can. And so, even when I look at older maps of Egypt, same thing. We see this line that causes this long diagonal, and therefore the triangle shape, or triangle bottom portion of the state of Israel that reaches all the way to the Gulf of Aqaba. And basically, when you go through, there's another one there with the red line, points it right out, right nice for us. I guess that's because, yeah, that's the actual border of Egypt. Shows it there as well. So all the older Egypt maps show this triangle portion, or long diagonal border. Like I said, this is not what I remember. And so, yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there to you guys to see what you remember. Thanks a lot for watching. Check out some of my other videos, and surely I'll have some more for you in the near future. Peace.